Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well and had a nice, well, you might still be having a long weekend, being Australia Day on Saturday. We're having the public holiday today here. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the sunshine. It's been a scorcher of a week last week, and I think this week won't be any different. So we've been staying cool in the pool and celebrating. We had a pool party with another family here the other day, and so now for me it's all hands on deck. Given it's a public holiday today, I'm always going to turn up and do this if I'm around. Good morning, Joanette, Lauren, Donna, Livia, Amanda, lots of you guys joining on. And it's going to be a beautiful day today. I actually had to change my PT session, so I've done myself up, then I've got to go to PT at 11 o'clock. But this morning I thought I'd start off, like last week we talked about momentum and gaining momentum for the new year if you've had a lot of time off and you've been sort of on the down low. And today I wanted to cover off a topic that may be a hot topic around people becoming frustrated when they can't seem to sell their services, their products. And I know that this was me in the first couple of years trying to get my business off the ground. And these are some of the things that I noticed why my stuff, in hindsight, was not being purchased or bought, or it was really hard to sell, and I was not having those a rush of sales or interest in what I was doing. But guys, just before 9 o'clock, let me do a quick share of this live video across the couple of groups that this goes into, and then we're going to get stuck with my top 10 reasons. I love check this out. I've got a little what I did about 6 months, I think on the cruise I was with my mum when I was just chilling out. What I did was think about over 20, I think 26, 27 topics, so half a year's worth of topics that I could be talking about on this morning, on Monday morning lives, because often what I would do last year is sometimes in the shower, 10 minutes before the call, going, what should I talk about today? What should the topic be? I would always come up with something appropriate, but it was like always like this rush of having to come up with something in the last few minutes. And now I've got pages. My VA actually hand wrote these, and then my VA typed them up. I was looking through this this morning and go, what would people want to know about, or what do I feel like talking about? Anyway, this is how I feel about it. So let me do my little share here across the groups, guys, as I said, and then we'll get stuck into the content, and we'll be here for about half an hour till 9:30 before I have to go to another to my secret group and do their little live burst for the morning. And these really help me. Let me see, what am I doing here? Sharing a group. Paste. Okay. I'm just having it's not picking up. The internet's very slow. I'm gonna have to post that. All right, and in one more spot, and then we're ready to go. All right, share in a group. One more group. Ultimate business support. Gee, the internet's super slow. All right, you guys. Cool. All right, I'm with you. All right, so 10 reasons why people. Good morning, Viv and Naomi, Renee, and Danielle. All right, you guys. So 10 reasons why people won't pay for your products or services. And unfortunately, some business owners can get stuck in this space where it's happening over and over and over again, and start to get disheartened, and then obviously run out of resources to be able to sustain their business and return back to having to do some work and or just purely give up. So here are some things that you might find yourself that you are guilty of or unaware of, right? Because a lot of the time it's actually more not having awareness that can lead to these things being the truth. So number one on our top 10 list or top 10 reasons is people don't understand what it is that you actually do. Would you say that it's because they have too much of everything? That people, Olivia, it could be. I mean, everyone's different, but I'm going to place this one more on business owners' reasons rather than what other people have or don't have. But look, it could be one of the things. So check out the 10 I have, and then maybe that'll kind of answer the question. So they don't understand what it is you sell. Okay. Why do I know this is one of the reasons? Because often in my early days of networking, and also of late, I don't network quite as much as I used to, because I have to run the business. Can't leave the house as often but when I do get the opportunity to, and often within networking events, you have people stand up and obviously pitch or give their little barbecue speech in terms of what they do. And 80 to 90% of the time, I really don't understand what someone does when they get up to do this little spiel. And then I say to the person next to me, what is it they do? Because I'm curious what people do, because I'm also on the constant lookout of who can help me. Is this something that I'm curious about? How do you increase people's curiosity when you stand up and say what you do? How can you describe in 10 words what it is that you do, so that people understand and they go, boom, this is the problem this person solves, or this is the product they sell that solves this particular problem, and I get it, I'm curious, then I'm going to go talk to them. The situation in my industry and the background that I came from, introducing myself in my early days as purely a life coach who helps people overcome their limiting beliefs and get from A to B the fastest way possible. What the hell is that? What does it even mean? People, the general public out there, doesn't know what life coaching is. Yes, it's been a little bit more popularized, by watching people in the media and over social media and all that kind of stuff. But still, to this point, I would never, even though I've been a life coach myself, and I am, that's why, those certificates at the back of the wall, some of them say that, I've got a diploma in life coaching and all that. I still myself would never hire someone who purely advertises themselves as a life coach, because I don't actually know what specific problem they can help me solve, right? So niching, which you guys know, it's been spoken about, that the riches are in the niches, is very important, that you become very specific. So when I shifted towards talking about helping people lose the last 10 kilos, which was my original first weight loss niche, even though what I did was life coaching, then all of a sudden people started to listen. And when I put a number around it, like lose the last 10 kilos, not just purely weight loss, because again, everyone is weight loss. It's such a multi-billion-dollar industry. Then all of a sudden, it's a specific. Yes, I have that exact problem. I've had these extra 10 kilos on me for a while, and so on and so forth. Similar thing with Ultimate 48 Hour Author. Yes, there is a lot of people out there teaching others how to publish books and get from start to finish, and mentorships around that. However, putting a specific system around it makes it feel like there is a start and a finish to what I do. So how do we translate this back to what you guys offer? So the first point, if you've just joined, was people don't understand what it is you sell. If someone tells you and then you still don't know, you need to still ask clarifying questions. So if someone asks you and you tell them and they keep asking more questions, then obviously you haven't been clear enough. And so that could be just the first, where you're putting a lot of effort, you're standing up in front of people, you're telling them what you do, you're meeting people out and about, so you're growing your network, but really you don't have full clarity. So how is it what you do can be communicated, that it is some kind of a system that gets someone from that A to B? What is that A to B, right? What is the outcome? So maybe the question to ask yourself in your business is, what goal have I helped my client achieve when they have finished working with me? What goal have I helped my client achieve when they have finished working with me? Okay. Now, I know that goal doesn't always turn out to be tangible. Okay. but you can, you know, turn it into something tangible. I have helped them double their confidence in 10 weeks through my 10-week program, okay, or something along those lines, right? So you can always turn something intangible into something tangible. So that was reason number one. And by the way, if you guys have questions, comments, just ideas even, post them, because I also would love to have a look at what you guys are thinking. Okay, reason number two why people won't buy from you is they don't value it for themselves. Okay, they don't see the value in it. Okay, so the value has to always compensate compared to the price. Okay, so what is the value that they see? Do they see that if I pay $100, I'm going to receive $1,000 worth of value? Now, value is not a calculation. Value is an actual feeling of what someone feels they're going to get as a result of investing in your product or service. Okay, so value is a feeling, not a calculation. And so if they don't see the value in it, they're not going to invest. Okay, are you overpricing? A lot of the time you're actually not overpricing yourself. A lot of people are underpricing themselves. Therefore, actually people feel like, why is this so cheap? And sometimes being too cheap might seem dodgy. Okay, so there's probably a fine line, and you need to figure out where you feel comfortable starting selling your product or service. Obviously, products might stay the exact same price point if they're a product, but services can increase as your experience increases, your confidence in your ability to deliver the result a lot faster. So when do you increase in price? Is when you have more experience, you know how to deliver the result a lot faster, you have better systems. Like for me, when I think about what was my retreat like back in day one in October 2013, now going to retreat 24 in 2 or 3 weeks time, it's so different. There was almost zero systems. There was a couple of templates. We still provided an amazing experience, but it was priced accordingly to where we were starting off. As we gain more experience, more systems, more ability to deliver that result faster, then we incremented in price and so on and so forth. So nowadays, of course, it's a well-oiled machine. Now, sitting here today, if I spoke to you in 5 years' time, I would say, oh, back at Retreat 24, we had no idea like we evolve, obviously, and that's really important. So they don't see the value. That's reason number two. Number three is they think they can do it themselves, and that's okay. Some people that you meet are not going to be your ideal client, right? So my ideal clients for the retreat program are first-time authors, second or third-time authors, because they've been through the journey themselves, perhaps once or twice before or more times. They might think, okay, I don't really need to learn about this bit. I need this bit, but I don't need this bit. I think I can do this myself. So they might come to my half-day workshop and they receive the system and they go, yep, I'm, a self-starter. I can follow a recipe, therefore I'll go off and do it myself. And that's okay. You're going to get those kinds of people as well that are going to think they can do it themselves. And some will walk away and think they can do it and they'll start and then they'll give up because they didn't commit and invest and help being held accountable by someone. But some will truly go through and do it themselves. And yes, the result may not have been the same as if they worked with you, but they will achieve a result because they have followed the steps, they've stayed committed, and so on. And there's people like that as well, and that's okay. Let them go. Sometimes people go, look, Nat, read your 48-hour author book, and out of thousands upon thousands of people, perhaps 3 or 4 only have reported that they followed the system because they were committed enough to stick it out. They said the system works, it's there, it's all right there in the book. And I said, yeah, it's unfortunate that 99% of people will never even finish the book, let alone actually follow it and get the result themselves. I said, I don't hold back on how I share in that book. But of course, those people who just read the book, they don't get the depth or the customization or the feedback along the journey, but they still can achieve the result, right? So don't worry about those people, those that do think they can do it themselves. Let them go with love and hope that they will, because they will then ping you back and say, yeah, I followed, the system works, and they can become actually an awesome testimonial. All right, reason number 3. Reason number 4 on my list of top 10 reasons is you're selling the too hard basket and not the magic bullet. Okay, you're selling the too hard basket. Here's me back in the weight loss coaching days. I had my mentor, and he said, I'd say, oh, this is what's so good about people. And he said, well, why should people work with you? What's so good about you? Oh, well, I'll give them all these resources. I'm going to share this, and I'm going to help them with that. And he says, no, I don't think that's what people buy. Okay, people buy wanting to lose weight in 5 minutes. What is that? 3 kilos in 5 minutes while eating chocolate. And I sort of, after about working with them for 18 months, it clicked into my mind that ultimately it is our ego that buys. Okay, it is our ego that buys what we want versus what we need. So we sell. So when we sell to the ego. Ultimately, we give to the soul. So I'm not saying not to give people exactly what they need to receive, whether it's coaching, consulting, hypnotherapy, whatever those, the people who are in a service-based industries who tend to follow me. I'm not saying not to give them exactly what they need within all of that and do all the hard work, but don't sell the hard work. That too hard basket, if you make it too hard when you're originally meeting people and you're describing how you do what you do, they're not going to be confident enough to go, all right, I'm willing to give this program a go. They will buy into the So again, 48-hour author, it seems like the magic bullet, right? It sells to the ego. You'll become an author. You'll execute it. Is all of that true? It's true, because we do finish the books. But when we do finish those books over the weekend, what happens after the weekend? There's a period of them needing to tidy up, clean up the manuscript before it goes into editing. There's a period of, even when they get their book in hands, that they are going to have to follow all of the other instructions and things that I will give them, then they need to market and leverage that book. Now, that's not 48 hours. Becoming successful as an author takes a lot more than 48 hours. However, at the front end, we don't want it to seem scary and hard. We want it to seem doable, because if you actually are able to take that first step and you achieve one thing, and then you achieve another thing, and then you achieve another thing, it's a momentum. When you start achieving and completing and finishing things, it makes you want to do more, okay? But most people, if you make it too hard, they won't want to take that first step. But once they take the first step, they're willing to take another step and another step and another step, and then keep rolling on towards their journey to whatever success looks like for them. Okay? So be very mindful. I read a lot of posts on social media that I just kind of go through because they're just, selling the too hard basket. People want something that feels tangible. People want something that perhaps, plays on the ego side of what's keeping us awake at night. Okay, so you can turn it this way. Sell, as I said, sell them what they want, give them what they need. Sell to the ego, give to the soul. Okay, make sure you're not lying or being dishonest in what and how your service gets delivered. Okay, don't put something fancy. Now, actually, there is a big frequently asked question that has come up years after year after year after year over the nearly coming up to 9 years in business, is that what if I say someone can achieve something in 90 days, like I guarantee something, 90 days to double your business or whatever. There's a lot of, systems that, as I said, put a number around what it is that you do. And what if I say that, Nat, and then, it doesn't happen for the person? Well, I say, if someone was to follow your system to the T, they followed your recipe, just like baking a cake, do you believe in your heart that they will get that result? Because if someone joins you in your service or whatever program, and they are not following, they're like kind of just thinking, just by paying the money to be part of the program, I'm going to get this result. It ain't going to happen. It takes two people. It's the full responsibility of the client to take the actions and follow the coaching and the mentoring or whatever program it is that they have invested in. So I said, if you know in your heart, so for example, does every single person that come to my retreat complete their book in those first 48 hours? No. About 70% do while they're at the retreat and we're ready to go to transcription on that Monday or even Sunday. But about 30% won't. Why? Because they didn't do the pre-work I gave them before the retreat. There's 10 to 12 hours of pre-work and unpacking their chapters. So you know what they spent doing at retreat? Unpacking chapters, not speaking out their book. That's why they didn't finish. Okay? They didn't manage their time as they have been instructed. So those that follow the recipe, not only do they do it, they smash it out and actually even achieve even more at that retreat, but those that don't and they waited to the last minute and crammed and did stuff like that in the last minute, then of course they get stuck and they don't, they're not as ahead in the program as they can be. So be mindful, it is not just your responsibility to deliver a result, it is also the client's responsibility. And don't feel bad when some clients don't do the work, because at the end of the day, you're doing the best you can. And as long as you deliver on your promises, which is where your integrity comes in and you follow through and you're always responsive to your clients and all that sort of stuff, then the ball needs to also be in their court where they're actually utilizing what you are providing as a provider. Okay, so that was point number 4. Reason number 4, you are selling the too hard basket and not the magic bullet. So start selling the magic bullet, which makes it seem a lot easier, a lot more attractive, so that people will engage within your services so that you can ultimately give them what they need, which is either deep work or change work, whatever it is, or get them to take action to achieving a specific result. Okay, number 5 and 5 and 6 are kind of together, so let's talk about those together. Number 5 and 6 are you're not credible enough, and you don't have enough social proof or testimonials. Okay, so you're not credible enough. So this is a hard one when you're starting out in business. This is the whole reason my whole thinking behind writing my first book, 7 Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, was I need a tool that's going to make me more credible, okay, that people will start taking me more seriously. Okay, when I started out, it was obviously 19 years younger than I was, and I just felt like I was the youngest person out there, networking my circles anyway. And I go, I need something that's even gonna, as I said, let people take me more seriously. So that's why I wrote the first book, and this is why I'm so passionate for those first-time authors that I help when they're also fresh new business owners. Why I love for them to get to that holding their book as quickly as possible, because other people start seeing them at a different level, as more credible, as more willing to listen to, and you show this book and it carries so much weight behind it. And so start from the very first day collecting your testimonials from people, getting any social proof around people that you have helped. Are people sharing about their results on social? Can you ask for permission to take screenshots of that? Start populating this across to your website. Start asking for testimonials on LinkedIn. So when you do meet new people and they Google you or look you up, then they can find those things so that you're not the only person speaking about how good you are or why people should hire you, but you have those tools like the book, like the testimonials, like the video testimonials are even more powerful if you can get them. And initially, look, even if you're doing some pro bono work, ask for testimonials at those times. I mean, at least the way people can pay you back for some pro bono work they might receive from you is by giving a testimonial on how you went with servicing them. So really, really important for us to always be looking out for opportunities to be presented in the media, you know, to be writing more content. I mean, just doing this live, I mean, I've been doing this live now for over 4 years. Monday morning, 9 a.m. Melbourne time, always on here, aside from whenever I'm chilling out with the family. I'd say, let's say it's about 40 times a year out of the 52 weeks that I will be here every half an hour. That consistency, the building of the content, that then this gets downloaded and put on YouTube and across to my podcast and in a few different places. You know, after 9 years, my YouTube channel has over 1,000 videos. Now, is that credibility enough? People can literally get to know me without meeting me physically in real life. And when they meet me, they go, oh, Nat, I've been watching a lot of your YouTube videos. I'm following you on social media and all that sort of stuff. I feel like I know you. So all of that starts to do that work for you. And if you're not focusing on the credibility building activities, again, it's going to be a lot harder to sell and close on your products and services. Okay, so that was point number 5 and point number 6. I want to go through them all, and I want to give you a summary list because some of you have joined on a little bit later on. Okay, number 7, why people won't pay you for your products or services is you don't have success in what you're selling. You don't have success in what you're selling. Now, this obviously relates a bit more, or even for products actually, now that I think about it. If you're not using your product, you know, and you're just selling something because it's a way to make money, you're not really, don't have the buy into it. Or if you're a practitioner of some sort and you haven't achieved success in that area of your life, let's say relationships, and you have a crappy relationship that is falling apart, or you're a person who's teaching others how to be more healthy, but you're not healthy yourself. If you're not living and breathing that, and I know there's a lot of money, like a lot of things. This is where coaching has gotten a bad rap over the years, where coaches are promising others to take them to 6 or 7 figures, and they can't rub 2 cents together. That is a total disconnect. People can smell it a mile away. You can say what you can help them do, but on some deeper level, people know whether or not you have got the result that they're looking for. Okay? So make sure that whatever you're selling, whether it's your product or your service, that you're either using and loving your product and just, you know, can talk about it for hours upon hours, or that you have achieved the success in the problem that you're looking to solve for other people. Because people buy people, and people buy, you know, the moment I realized I have got it is when people started saying to me, I want to have what you are having. I want to have your life now. I want to be traveling 4 times a year. So 4 months out of the year, like to have time off. I want to, you know, run events like you do. Oh, I love to do retreats. I mean, I would love to do retreats. And I said, well, are you willing to do what I have done? And that's why I wrote the book, Fully Booked Retreats, last year, to actually reverse engineer for people what it actually is required to make these 4 massive retreats happen every year. And it's not as easy as you think. That's the magic bullet, right? How to run high-end retreats. You know, that's what the book is called. I can't remember the exact tagline. How to skyrocket your business through high-end retreats. And it was called Fully Booked Retreats. What does the ego want? They want to be fully booked, right? And that's what the whole thinking behind it, all of that. But when you read the book, you realize, shit, there's a whole lot more steps to this to get me to that high-end retreat. And so make sure you have, why did I write the book after 23 retreats? Because now I had success in doing it. I can really distinguish the do's and don'ts behind it and show someone a system that was clean and that I wasn't still working out myself. Okay, so number 7 is people won't buy your products or services unless you have success or passion or using your product within what you're selling. Okay, you need to really be your number 1 fan and ask yourself the question, would I be willing to invest to do my own program, or do my own, you know, invest in my consulting, or invest in this product? You know, would I, when I was on the journey to becoming a first-time author, when I figured it all out myself, not knowing that people like me now existed back then, would I have been willing to invest in my Ultimate 48-Hour Author program? And the answer is yeah. I mean, it just has everything in it. not just, hey, get me to the, I got to the published book, but then I had to figure out what the hell do I do with this book? And that's all the stuff that I teach within the retreat. Okay, number 8 is you have poor reputation, word of mouth is bad. Okay, let's cover this one off. If you are not fulfilling on your promises, let's say, even if as a customer to other people, because when we start out in business, a lot of us go networking, blah, 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 blah. We're surrounded by our local people, of course, and you get known for being a type of person, okay? And you get known whether you're reliable, whether you're always on time, you're not on time, you pay for other people's products and services on time, all that kind of stuff, and you develop some kind of a reputation. So if you have not been very much, stick to your word. If you're going to say to someone, I'm going to be there, you're not chopping and changing on people all the time. Because I know, when you are in that local community and you are seeing people face to face, not so much on social media, but even on social media, you can actually build relationships to a point, like if you say, we're going to meet on Skype at this time, and then you don't meet and you're changing appointments and all that kind of stuff, people are just going to give up on you and say, nah, that person always changes. And of course, on social media, your reputation can be broken very, very quickly because of certain things that you say, how you say them, and all that sort of stuff. So the question is, how are you managing your reputation? How are you, and the best way to do that is obviously, count 10 or 20 before you post anything that could be controversial, could be, seen in a way that, then it turns back at you. Always, if you need to vent, don't vent on social media. Go have a vent buddy. We've talked about this in the past. My vent buddy will be a business owner that I'm very close with, that we know we can share things between one another, or my husband. My husband's always my vent buddy. And then I don't need to post it on social media. Same thing when I went about networking, whatever I said, whatever I promised, wherever I said I was going to turn up, I always turned up. Always be a person that can be relied upon. Otherwise, you'll build up a bad reputation, and other people are going to ask your networking buddies, how is this person to work with? What are they, tell me a little bit about them, okay? And they'll say, they're top notch, yep, highly recommended, yep, have heard lots of great things about them, or, I don't know, I had an experience X, Y, and Z, okay? So manage your reputation, because it can be taken away from you very, very quickly. And on social and on online, it can actually, once it stays, something gets posted, obviously it's your footprint, not blueprint, digital footprint. I was just reading that in my son's iPad program thing, where they were teaching them about, obviously, online and what gets posted, that it stays on there, and digital footprint, and be very mindful and all that sort of stuff. They're starting that this week in grade 5. All right, so number 9 on our list, oh my goodness, only 2 minutes. They don't trust you will deliver on your promises. Okay, so someone thinks, am I really going to get serviced properly by this person, or do I feel safe working with this person? Do I believe they're going to deliver in their promises? So if they don't trust you're going to deliver on your promises, and that you're all glitz and glamour and really just words and no action, then they're not going to invest in your products and services. The number 10, sorry guys to rush you in the end, is you have not demonstrated return on investment or a no-brainer offer. You have not demonstrated return on investment or a no-brainer offer. So this is, again, maybe linked a little bit closer to that value thing. Like, how does someone believe that what you do is 10 times the asking price? That's the question to answer. How can you communicate and demonstrate to them what it is that you do is going to give them 10 times of the feeling of return on investment? It doesn't have to be sometimes monetary, but the feeling of how their life will improve, the result that they will get, how they will think about themselves and all that. That if I paid X, these $100, I will feel that I'm going to get $1,000 worth of value. If I pay $10,000, I'm going to feel I'm going to get $10,000 worth of value. $100,000 worth of value. So how can you get that communicated? And it's all about, ultimately, at the end of the day, if I have to summarize all of these 10 points as we're coming, all right, smack bang on 9:30 here, is that communication is key. Tweaking and adjusting how you say something, when you say it, when you seed, when you talk about different aspects of what you do. It ultimately, all of these 10 boil down to you becoming an amazing communicator. Amazing communicator who's always watching, listening, asking for feedback. Okay, how can you communicate at this 10 times in value on that investment? Maybe that could be our topic next week, Yvonne, because there is so much that often we need to build into what we give people, than purely just this is just a problem I solve, and how I do it, and I guess put a lot of meat around it and a lot of support and things like that. So maybe I would be happy to, guys, teach you maybe that topic. If you want to hear it, then let me know. Comment on the posts. And if you have been listening or you've come on late, go back and watch the other 9 or 10 reasons that you probably missed, and then comment and ask questions, because I will check in on this live as I go through the day, and usually gets watched all throughout the week and so on. And then I'll be back again with you guys next Monday morning, same time, same place. And I'll be happy to expand. I mean, I didn't realize these 10 reasons are going to take me so much time to go into so much detail, but I'm glad I did, and I could expand. I would probably end up making each one of these topics its own separate live, but it is really, really, really hard. You know, it's not, there's no magical thing to, that says this is going to be successful, but you need to keep chopping and changing until you find your signature thing. Your signature thing, which I'm blessed to say we have been doing for the last 5 years, the same thing, and it works like magic. There's no clutter in the brain anymore. There's a clear-cut way of how the business rolls and a cycle that it goes through. Thank you for your time, Muska. 40 years of successful selling the same product has taught me that people don't buy you. If don't buy from you, they won't. You do sell it to them. The right attitude and confidence is what made it successful for me, with a love and respect. Thanks, Livia. Yeah, and absolutely, you're right. And I want to talk about one week about obsession, being obsessed in what you do. And there you go. Livia has been doing 40 years of successful selling. So it's someone that you should follow, you guys, and check out what is so awesome and how she communicates as well. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to my secret group, do some wisdom and value in there for my guys, for my upcoming authors. We're only 3 weeks out from retreat now, and super excited to be getting everyone prepped. And it is going to be officially our biggest retreat ever. Our biggest was 17 authors. I think this one's 18. And we've got a few events before that then as well. Talk to you guys. Have an amazing week and smash it out.